Hey y'all, and welcome to Brawl. My name is Brian, and Maria Bartiromo pretty much proves once and for all that Democrats just don't know what they're talking about, and shows them up for really just, knowing nothing.
I mean, do you think that there's been a political attack on President Trump since he first entered Washington in 2015?
I think that...
What's the answer?
I have to say this to you.
What's the answer? Has President Trump been attacked politically because he's President Trump? Because he's Trump, has he been attacked politically?
Well,
and it's unfair.
I think there are a lot of political attacks on a lot of people in a lot
I'm
of
asking
different
about
ways.
Donald
President Trump.
What about Trump?
Well, President Trump does some things that I have had issues with. You know it. The two of us have had interesting spars, but
like
we
what?
do it directly with each other, as
what
you
specifically?
know. I think he does some things. I think the way that he goes after people, I think the way that he sometimes twists the facts.
Right, but,
I wish.
But I'm asking about that on him.
He was just
the
convicted of 34 counts in a court of 34 counts of a felony in a due process by a jury of his peers.
Right. What was the crime? What was the crime, Congresswoman?
What was the crime?
Yeah.
The crime was that he lied to people. He manipulated payments that were being made. He violated the law in terms of why was he making these payments.
Do you see any similarity? Do you see any similarity to the 51 intelligence officials who lied about the Hunter Biden laptop right before the 2020 election, calling it Russian disinformation?
Hunter Biden, by the way, we have a problem on all sides with Russian disinformation. So I'm never going to downplay. I think we
but
have real
specifically,
problems.
the Hunter Biden laptop was real. They signed a letter saying that it was Russian disinformation.
Convicted.
Is that a similar situation to what President Trump was just convicted of?
Hunter Biden was in a court and convicted.
No, that was gun charge. That was a very separate situation, different situation. I'm talking about the Hunter Biden laptop. Right before the 2020 election, 51 intelligence officials signed a letter saying it was Russian disinformation. They hid the truth before the election. Is that similar to what Trump was just charged with?
There's an investigation going into that laptop. I don't have the facts. I think you're going to hear a lot more about this laptop in the coming months. I'm not privy, Maria, and about what was on there, what wasn't.
Right. No, I'm just asking if it's a similar situation. Is it a similar situation that people hid truth before the election in 2020 about Hunter Biden, and now Trump was just charged with, I guess, hiding truth ahead of an election about a $130,000 payment he made to a porn star? Is it the same?
First of all, I don't have all the facts, so I'm careful.
I'm sorry?
I don't have all the facts.
I take it back. Democrats aren't dumb. They have a rule of two, and they both start with D's. They either deflect or they deny. She's not denying what's going on here. This lady, let's see, what's her name again? Debbie Dingell. Oh boy. The trophy wife of John Dingell, who used to be the longest serving member of Congress. She replaced him after his passing, eventually. And, she knows. She knows what's going on. And she is deflecting here. Because she knows that there's some truth to the Hunter Biden laptop story. She knows that it's not Russian disinformation, but she has to say it because her voters are primed to believe that nonsense. All right? Remember, Democrats are primed, groomed, in other words, by the media outlets that they follow. They slop up the garbage and produce stuff like this. Debbie Dingell knows that the Hunter Biden laptop story is true. She knows that it contains direct information that links Hunter Biden to money laundering and to the big guy himself, Joe Biden. Hey, y'all. This is a shout out to my friends over at Colonial Metals Group, where CEO Paul Stone and his expert associates fully understand the gravity of our current situation and want to protect your wealth backed by gold, silver, and other precious metals. Folks, we are in an era of record inflation. We have a Congress that won't stop spending and a president who doesn't even know what planet he's on. That's how bad the situation is, and that's why I'm partnering with Colonial Metals Group. And if you have a first-time account with these fine upstanding people, you will receive up to $7,500 worth of silver, a nice old safe to keep all the good stuff in, You will get Roth IRA accounts for free backed by gold and silver, and insurance and warranty on these items for 5 years, all for free. So call the number below or check out the link in the description and let CEO Paul Stone and his expert team help you now, because your wealth might evaporate before your very eyes. Protect your wealth, protect your family, protect your future with Colonial Metals Group today. Now, back to regularly scheduled programming. They know, and they're forced to deflect and deny. You can even tell by their body language. It's not this puzzled look of, wait, what are you talking about? This doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard before. It's, I know, but I'm going to lie about it anyways. Once you start noticing body language, the world opens up to you. The body language here is quite literally saying, I know what is true, I have to lie about it. Just like those 51 FBI agents lied about the Hunter Biden laptop story. Do you know what really went on with that? So, in late 2020, the Biden team realized that Hunter had screwed up. Again. They realized he had screwed up and he left his laptop somewhere. The FBI finally figured out where it was, took it, and made sure that no one was privy to the information. But by that point, it was too late. The information was out there. The information had been released somewhere along the internet. We now have access to that information. It's not the fact that we care about his illicit activities with prostitutes or with, illicit, let's just say, things that you do with a bong. No, that's not what we care about. We care about the fact that in that laptop contained information, emails, and other secrets that linked him directly with the company Burisma, with Romanian companies, and the Chinese CCP itself, all paying him money and him laundering it back to his father. That should have been the bombshell of 2020, but it wouldn't have changed the outcome anyways, given what we know now about that election. But it should have been a wake-up call to the American people that Joe Biden is not your nice old Uncle Joe. He is, a matter of fact, your creepy uncle. Not the good one, the creepy one. We all know what we're talking about here. And Joe Biden has been directly compromised. And furthermore, this Democrat, I want to say bless her heart, but she is complicit in a lie, in an attempt to deceive the American people, an attempt to lead you from the truth. The truth is, in 2014, the CIA backed a coup in Ukraine. They backed the coup because they had just found massive deposits of shale oil, the same sort of oil that's in North Dakota. By the way, there's also a major Ukrainian population in North Dakota. I guess geography really is destiny. It's flat and there's nothing much to do out there. And when they found that oil, the CIA looked over to the politicians and said, hey, we can make some money off of this. And thus, politicians like Joe Biden and even Mitt Romney had their kids infiltrate these new oil companies that had just replaced the old one after the regime change. And Ukraine, trying to rid itself of corruption as being one of the most corrupt countries in the world, had one of their prosecutors look into the new company Burisma. And they found something weird. They found that Hunter Biden was on the team and he was doing some shady stuff with the money. Joe Biden figured that out and threatened them directly to withhold congressionally sponsored aid to the nation if they didn't fire the prosecutor. Naturally, Donald Trump weaponized this, but he weaponized it in a small form. He didn't go public with this information. He simply gave him a phone call and said, hey, can you look into what happened here? That'd be really great. Thank you. Goodbye. They impeached Donald Trump for that. We have tried to impeach presidents for perjury. That should have been an impeachable offense for Bill Clinton. Andrew Johnson refused to uphold the laws of Congress. He was almost impeached and should have been impeached for it. Andrew Johnson was one of our worst presidents. And then Richard Nixon was going to be impeached for directly ordering a hit on the Watergate Hotel to steal Democrat information. Donald Trump, on the other hand, merely made a phone call asking if you could look into this information. Thank you, goodbye. He was impeached for that. Compare that to Joe Biden, who directly threatened them. We have the phone recording of this. Joe Biden threatened to undercut Congress and use his power for ill-gotten gain. That is monstrous corruption. I really wish the worm would turn on this. I hope the Republicans do the right thing and correctly start pressing charges in Congress. Joe Biden has done something that is impeachable. Meanwhile, Donald Trump did not and got impeached for it anyways. We live in a clown world, and it has to stop. And Debbie Dinkler, on the other hand, she's complicit in it, and it's absolutely disgusting. Maria is doing her best to get her to reveal the truth, and instead of admitting the truth, the Democrats either will deflect or they will deny. And it is ultimately disgusting. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed this segment here on Political Brawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one, and until then, y'all have a good one.